So this time I'm going to talk about my red dot. So a good red dot is always necessary. Some people don't use any sights at all. Some people do. So it's a bit of a personal choice. But if you want to use a red dot and you're not afraid of spending a little bit of money, then Vortex is definitely the way to go. So I'll be talking about the Vortex that I got, which is the Spitfire AR. So if you ever want to search for one on the internet, make sure you type AR after Spitfire, because Spitfire like this is just a scope. So you have to make sure you type Spitfire AR, or otherwise you won't get the correct result. So as I said, this is a red dot. Now, to be clear, this is not an Airsoft red dot, but is perfectly usable for Airsoft. Be it slightly over-engineered, but that's just a bonus. So before I get into the box itself, a bit about Vortex. So Vortex is a company that makes scopes, red dots, for real steel applications. So that means real rifles, real sniper rifles, real pistols, and so forth. So that's why the price is a bit more higher than most Airsoft sites, such as Victo Optics, or so they're not bad, those other brands. Vortex is just, if you want it, it's worth it. That's just plain and simple. So we'll get into the box without going too further astray. So here you have a little image of the red dot in question. So it's pretty simple, but nice packaging. Here you have what they're really famous for, their VIP lifetime warranty. So to give you an example, a person had a scope from them, his garage burned out, his scope was ruined, Vortex sent him a new one. So just to give you an idea. Of course, there's minor exclusions, but I'm talking really, if you're really stretching it. So we'll move on to the back. So on the back we have just some more info about the red dot. So we have let's see, what do we have? We have, it's nitrogen purged. So there's actually no air in it. It's fully nitrogen to help with the fogging and the waterproofing. You can't read this, but it's also O-ring sealed. So together with the nitrogen purging, it helps keep it waterproof and fog proof. It's also shock proof. Now, why would it be shock proof? As I just said, it's made for real steel applications. So it needs to be able to withstand the recoil of the weapon it's being put on. Now for Airsoft it doesn't really matter much, but it's still nice that it's shock proof. And then last but not least, here we have fully multi-coated anti-reflective lenses. So why would it be anti-reflective? That's just to improve the visibility of using the red dot. Then on this side we have another of its perks, the illumination. So it's either red or green illuminated if you want it. If you don't, you don't use it, but it's there. So it has an illuminated sight. So let's open it up. We have an instruction manual. We'll go through that in a second. We have the red dot itself. Because of the odd shape, it doesn't really want to stand up. We have a different kind of adjustment dial. We have the Allen key to put it on your replica or real steel rifle, and they included a battery. So that's pretty much it. So as you can see, the red dot comes with flip caps, which is also always a nice inclusion. They come really easily off if you want to install and adjust, obviously, but mostly they come off quite easily. Now, because it's a real steel red dot, it has all the adjustments you need for sighting in a rifle. So the top dial is the elevation adjustment. So what does that translate to? That's the vertical adjustment. So you have to correct your elevation because you have to deal with something called the Coriolis effect. Now, to quickly explain that, you have the earth and the curvature of the earth, and the bullet curves off because of the curvature of the earth. So you have to adjust for that. And to adjust for that, you have to adjust the elevation. If I was correct, you have to twist this off. So this is just a protective cap. And then you can adjust the dial. So you have where you have to turn, and then on the side, the indication. So we'll put that on again. Quickly before I close this off. This included dial, so the elevation dial is now measured in minutes of angle. So we're getting quite technical here for an airsoft video, but it basically is the adjustment you use to, it's like calculating kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour. Now this one is a different type. So let's say this is kilometer per hour, like in a car, and this is miles per hour. So this is minutes of angle. Now, if you're used to working in yards to adjust your elevation, you can take this one off and change it with this one, making sure this is set to 0 before you change it with this one. So it's correctly installed, because if you just switch it like that, then it's not really correctly dialed in. That's just, they included this for people who prefer to work in yards or BDC. So it's either MOA or BDC, but they included that for the real steel users. I doubt as an airsofter you will get to, but still, it's a nice touch. So we'll put on the protective cap. Now, the way the red dot is orientated is, this is the objective lens, and this is the ocular lens. So this is the one you look through, and this is the one you aim towards the objective. So that's why they call it the ocular and objective lens. Now you're probably wondering what this dial is for. This dial is for the eye relief. So when you put the rifle, let's say it's mounted on a rifle, and you put it towards your eye needs to adjust to the reticle. So the reticle is the, not sure if you can see it, the reticle to aim with. Your eye needs to adjust to that. So in order to make, for every person it's a bit different, so that's why they have this adjustment to make the adjustment of your eyes quicker to the reticle, so to make the target acquisition faster. That's what this adjustment is for, to adjust for the eye relief. Now, an important thing to note is this red dot is prism based. So this is very interesting for people who have astigmatism. Again, getting very technical. What is astigmatism? So a normal eye is like a football, round. So when you get a focal point from an image, it goes, no matter where you direct it on the eye, it goes to the center. It gets directed to the same point. Let's just put it like that. When you have astigmatism, your eye is not really round, it's more football shaped. So when you get images or light into your eyes, it doesn't get directed to the same space. It's all over the place, which makes it more difficult for people like that to use a red dot. And that's why this one is interesting, because for people with astigmatism, this improves the ease of use. So if you have astigmatism, I've been told it's pretty common, because I quickly looked it up. Because it's prismatic based, it will help for people with that issue. So of course there's a battery space because it's illuminated, so that's this one right here under the objective ocular, and it's, just to be sure, a AAA battery. It's actually quite nice brand, Energizer, so it's not a cheap battery they included. I even think, yeah, there's even an O-ring on this one as well. So on all the things, this cap and that cap are O-rings to make sure that no water gets inside. Of course it gets fiddly when it's on camera. Success. So we'll look at the last thing, which, of course I forgot the total most important thing. So I said elevation. This one is windage. So you have elevation like this, and you have windage. Now the clue is in the name, wind. So this dial, again with a cap of course, this dial adjusts for the curvature of the bullet from side to side due to wind. So you have to account for wind. So you do that with this button to dial it in. turret. Actually, they call it a turret. And these are turret caps. Sorry. That's the common name in the real steel world. So last but not least, the adjustment dials for the illumination. So if you press both buttons, it will illuminate. Now there's no battery in it. I could put a battery in it, but it's not that visible, I think, on camera. But anyways, this is to adjust for the brightness and also to choose between red or green. Now I'll quickly look if it says it auto dims after 8 hours. So if you leave the battery in and you leave it on, it dims after 8 hours and it shuts off after 12. It's about 250 hours continuous operation. That's how long the battery will last. And about 2000 hours non-continuous operation. So to activate, you either press the up or down button. To turn it off, you have to press both buttons for 3 seconds and then it will turn off. Now, the important thing, how do you change colors? You momentarily press and release both up and down buttons at the same time. And the intensity is, of course, by tapping the up and down button. Or holding the button down, then you cycle. 12 levels of brightness. Nice. With 2 being ultra low, because you have to be able to use it with night vision scopes. So that's why it has 2 ultra low settings. One for the green, one for the red. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff packed into this little thing. That's why it's no surprise that it costs 267 euros. But it is worth every penny. So if you're thinking about getting one, then it's worth everything you spend on it. The warranty alone makes sure that the amount you spend is not wasted. So you don't have to be worried like, oh, it's 267. What happens if I drop it or something happens? That's why the warranty is there. And the way it's built, I don't think you have to worry about any problems soon. No, I did forget, but it was straight. I thought it was straightforward, but I'm going to show it anyway. To put it on the Picatinny rail, and actually it kind of has a built-in riser. If you look at it now, to change, you just put in the Allen key, you wind it open as far as you can, not too far so that it doesn't fall out. You have to be careful with that you don't lose the little tab. And then just put it on. Make sure you orientate it so it's perfect for you. And then just clockwise, lefty loosey, righty tighty. If you never heard of that one, it's always handy. Just gonna adjust this like that so it's closed again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Apart putting it on, if you're an airsofter, just putting it on like that. If you're of course a real steel user, then you've got quite a lot of work to do, sighting it in, testing it, sighting it in again. Real steel users will know what I'm talking about. Now the material, I forgot to talk about the material, of course. the whole thing is made out of aircraft grade aluminum. So it's like pretty much the highest grade of aluminum you can get. So that's another account of its price. So as I said, it's pricey, but it's worth it. Not saying if you're airsofting that you should buy this one and only this one. There's plenty of other options. I'm just purely here to talk about my Vortex red dot and not to claim it's the only red dot to buy. This is purely just a personal look at my Vortex red dot and why I believe it's worth every penny spent on it. Is also the reason why I just bought a scope, but we'll just gloss over that quickly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the little Vortex red dot. Just the amount of detail on it is pretty nice too. I mean, it's not just blabbed. You have these lines here. So for me, even aesthetically, it's very pleasing to look at. Then you have the top with their logo, like a bit processed into it, which is nice too. Logo on the caps. The aesthetic lines here, small logo here. So yeah, I really like it, and it's brilliant. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'll try anyway. If you can see the lens, it's maybe a bit tricky to show. It's really beautiful to look through. It's honestly, I've looked through quite a few lenses, and this is just, it's like looking through a window, just like, but nothing in front of you. It's genius. So yeah, I know I'm ranting and raving on about it, but it's just a brilliant piece of kit. So if you are interested in getting one and you have more questions about it, I'll try and answer them. But I'm also very new to this, so but you always feel free to contact me. I hope you found this informative. Maybe you've been looking at Vortex, or now that you've seen it, you're curious about it. So I really hope this video helped you guys and girls, of course. And let me know what you think in the comments, depending on where you're watching this, Instagram or YouTube. And I hope you have a nice day. Take care and enjoy your day. Bye.